So, did you guys see that new Steam announcement? All the cool new hardware that's coming out, everything that they're working on over there in Bellevue, Washington. I don't know about you guys. I'm super excited about all of that hardware that they're making. I actually made a little blog post on my Space Hay page, just going over some of the details that I really like about it. There's a lot of specific things, more so than just the hardware itself. There's a lot of specific things that are coming because of the existence of this hardware, specifically the Steam frame, that makes me really excited for the future of gaming compatibility across the board, whether it be gaming on Linux, gaming on ARM. All of this stuff is so much more possible because of all this hardware that's coming out. So that's just really sick. I really love that kind of stuff. And while I love all the hardware that was released, the one that I'm most excited for, honestly, in terms of just the hardware, is probably the new Steam controller. I did not have the old Steam controller ever, really. Instead, I bought a Steam Deck like probably a year ago. It was between that or the Switch 2, and I decided I'd rather just have a Linux computer, and I didn't want to have to buy my games twice to play them on the go and on my computer, so that just kind of made sense. But after using the Steam Deck and getting a feel for the controls, the dual analog sticks and the dual touchpads, it was like, this just makes so much sense for playing PC games on a controller format. So I knew as soon as I had gotten used to it and been using it for a while, that I really wanted a controller that was basically a Steam Deck with the screen just taken out of the middle. So I'm very, very excited for this Steam controller too. This is exactly what I wanted. And ever since I got the Steam Deck, I've been very interested in trying out that old Steam controller. My only experience with it is one of my buddies back in the day used to have a Steam controller and a Steam Link. But I never really got to try it. He just got it, he never used it, and then he got rid of it. So I never got any experience with it. And of course, I've heard a lot of stories about the old Steam controller, how it's goofy. It just doesn't work for most games that you'd want to use a controller for. I mean, and that's kind of obvious, right? Because it was really designed to make playing mouse-specific games like RTS games and stuff. It was designed to make playing those kinds of games easier on the TV, right? But it's just kind of silly. It's a silly piece of gaming history, and it's a cool piece of Valve history. It's an instance in which you can literally physically see Valve making a decision that wasn't all that great, and then innovating on it and learning from it with the Steam Deck. So I think in that regard, it's just a cool piece of Valve history. And the more that I've gotten into PC gaming, I used to be a console gamer many years ago, I've just come to appreciate Valve a lot and the things that they're doing in the gaming space, and not only the gaming space, but also the compute space. If it wasn't for them and the effort that they've put into to make Linux a gaming platform, Linux would not be as viable as a desktop operating system as it is right now. It's all thanks to Valve and the Steam Deck that Linux is where it's at this point, really. In terms of its, general user usability, really. That's what I'm getting at. So I've looked into getting my hands on a Steam controller, a first-gen Steam controller, and I mean, they run pretty high these days, which makes sense, right? Because I mean, Valve is getting a lot more popular, and it is getting to that point in technology age range where it's kind of like old and useless, but it's old to the point where it's kind of cool, right? So it's getting to that kind of era where people are starting to want it again for novelty's sake, right? So, for the same reason that I want it, people are now selling it, and they're selling it at kind of a high price. At this point, I think you know exactly where I'm going with this, so I won't make you wait any longer. I got a Steam controller. I was just complaining about high prices. I did not buy this on eBay or anything like that. I actually got this from a friend, a different friend who had one, and they were like, yeah, I just don't really use it anymore, so if you want it, it's all yours. They also gave me a Steam Link that they had, which is super cool because I have never had one of these. I don't think that it would be very useful today. I think I'd like to make a video about maybe jailbreaking this and putting like Linux on it or something like that, but that might be like a video for another day, so I'm just going to set this aside for now. But I did want to show it. I did get the Steam Link as well. But yeah, I mean, look at this freaking goober, right? Like, I've looked at so many pictures of this thing at this point, and I've always thought, oh, this thing's just going to feel so weird in the hand. and man, does it feel weird in the hand. Like, the touchpads actually feel better than I expected. I really thought they would be like some cheap rubbery material, but they don't feel too different than the Steam Deck touchpads, which makes a lot of sense. I mean, if you look at Bring a Studio's prototype Steam Deck video, the trackpads on that prototype are basically just these. So that just kind of adds up. The thing that surprised me most about them, though, is that, like, if you listen, if you can hear it, they have physical clicks to them. The Steam Deck ones, for comparison, don't physically click down. Instead, they have haptic feedback for moments in which they should click down. But these just click all the time. I don't know about you guys, I have really small hands, so this layout at the bottom is such a pain to use. I mean, the analog stick isn't too bad, but if I want to reach the X button, it is actually like a freaking stretch. I have to stretch my hand all the way across just to reach it. And it's just such a weird layout for a controller. I don't know what they were thinking. It's so silly. But like I said, that's kind of what makes it cool, right? Is it's just such a unique piece of gaming history that if you look at the Steam Deck and you look at the new Steam controller, it's obvious they learned from this. So they didn't double down. I mean, in a way they did, right? They said, you know, people were like, oh, the touchpads are useless. They're cool for some things, but they're useless. And Valve said, no, the touchpads are great. We're just going to have both. And honestly, giving players the option is really what makes the Steam Deck and the new Steam controller so great. Because I'll say for my Steam Deck, I mean, the touchpads are great for certain games. Like I play Half Sword. Thank you, Queso, for showing me Half Sword. And that game really does not work on a controller. I mean, it does, but you don't get the same kind of feeling. So having a trackpad on the Steam Deck to be able to play it on the go is great. And also games like Albion Online, which is like, you know, a point and click MMO kind of, definitely benefits from having a mouse pointer if I want to play it on the go. If I didn't have those trackpads, it would be a much more difficult game to play on a handheld or on a controller in this case. So I have not actually used this thing yet. I haven't used it at all. I don't really know, like, other than just playing with it and clicking around, I don't really know how it'll feel to play certain games. So I thought it would be a fun idea to basically just play some games with it and kind of talk about what it's like to use it, you know, for people who maybe have never had a chance to use it and have some interest in it, but don't want to spend $40 on a used controller like I didn't want to do. You know, that way, if you really wanted to use a G1 Steam controller, then you can kind of vicariously use it through me. Also, you know, comes with its own dongle. This is great. I love this. You know, I think there might have been a point in time which I would have thought this was stupid, coming with a dongle. I mean, obviously the new Steam controller comes with one too, but this just makes the connection so easy. It makes it painless. It makes it so the controller will connect to the computer every single time without fail. This is great. This is honestly what everybody needs to be doing. Oh, it made a little sound. And I think the first game that just makes sense to try out would be Roblox. Since, you know, that's kind of my game. I will say I am fully aware of all of the junk happening with Roblox right now. If any of you guys saw that latest interview with David Baszucki, I mean, what a dumpster fire, dude. But anyway, enough doom and gloom. I put Sober in Steam, so hopefully that'll allow the controller to run through. So we're just going to launch it from here and see if that works. It is not. It is not working the way I would hope. Well, let's just start in a game and let's see if, because right now it's acting as like a mouse more so, which, yeah, that, I mean, like, that's the whole benefit, right, is that you can use it sort of like a mouse. We're just gonna have to work with that. So it's kind of interesting, and I know obviously how this would kind of feel because of the Steam Deck. The left trackpad / D-pad is like a scroll wheel. And then obviously the right one is a mouse. So what I think the best thing to do is honestly to shift lock and then use it like that. Now the downside is that the analog stick acts more like the arrow keys than the WASD keys. So like anytime I turn, it does that for me. But basically we're just going to try and go through this playing it this way. This doesn't feel great, but we're just going to try it. I mean, honestly, the trackpad feels pretty good. Like, I don't mind it as a pointing device. If the analog stick didn't act like, you know, crap, then maybe it would be fine. Let's check real quick. Let's look at the Steam controller settings. Maybe we can adjust this. No, it definitely is saying that it should be acting like a joystick. So it's just that, yeah, I don't know. I think we're just gonna have to deal with it. Okay. Okay. Gosh, man. Please. No, gosh. I don't know if you guys have ever played these games, these obby games, man. These are ridiculous. Oh my goodness gracious. Bro, I can't even see long enough to try and get across the stupid bridge. Oh, wait, no! Okay, that was just stupid. Oh, I did it. I honestly didn't expect to make it that far. Okay, if I manage to finish this on the Steam controller, that's gonna be kind of sick. Bro, you better slow the frick down. Oh! Okay, well. Like, all things considered, this is actually not like a bad controller layout for Roblox. And considering that most games on Roblox are made with, you know, keyboard and mouse in mind, this actually works pretty okay. The only thing that I would change is just making it so the analog stick works more like WASD rather than the arrow keys, you know? Holy crap, the freaking adjustments are crazy! Okay. Having it move the way it does when I'm trying to use like shift lock to get through is really annoying. I won! I can't believe I actually won that with the Steam controller. That's kind of crazy. That's a crazy feat, honestly. Yeah, I genuinely think for Roblox, it's not a bad controller as long as the analog stick would be WASD and I set like maybe one of the back pads to shift lock. That would be totally fine. I honestly wouldn't mind using that. All right, let's try something else. We're gonna do something different. So this is a game I've actually been playing a ton since I kind of stopped using my Switch. As sort of my Smash Bros replacement. And you know, sometimes you can hear that and think, oh, it's a Smash clone, but this game is actually really sick. The best thing about it though is that it's super moddable, and that's like by design from the developers. So you can add mods from the Steam Workshop and they just work great. So we're gonna try this. A platform fighter with the Steam controller. Now the benefit obviously is that a platform fighter doesn't super need the right analog stick, except for, like, you know, if you played Smash Bros, then you know smash attacks generally speaking are done with the right analog stick, and that's exactly how I have my settings set up in here. So it's going to be interesting, and we'll set that to level 9. We'll see how that goes. And for me, I'm going to pick a mod character, and there's just so many characters, dude. I want to pick a funny one first. There he is. The goat. Alright. So I can tell you already, like, the having to reach over for the face buttons is definitely kind of a pain point. At least for me. If you have, like, bigger hands than me, which is not hard to come across, you're probably not going to have nearly as much trouble as I am. Oh, whoops. See, this is what I mean. Like, you have to flick the trackpad. You have to flick the trackpad in order to use, like, smash attacks. It works. I mean, for sure. But it definitely doesn't feel great. I would much rather have an analog stick for this. Dang. They negated my burger blast. Oh, dang. See, throwing the smash attacks is so hard because sometimes you think you're like sliding it the right way, but you might not be. I've had it several times. I don't know if you've noticed it, where I've tried to throw like a side smash and I throw a down smash instead. Get fricked, dude. Hilarious.
And so, without further ado, I'd like to unveil.
I don't know if you've seen this dude's flip notes at all, but they're hilarious. You should definitely check them out. Oh, another goat. This one's... I know, we just did Roblox, but this one is actually one of my favorite fighters in the game. He plays a lot like... almost like how Steve does in Smash, like actual Smash. He's actually a super dynamic character. Dang. See, it's like, I want to throw a smash attack, please. Can I? Thank you. There we go. Whoa, that was actually kind of sick. Oh, so like all things considered, honestly, it's not that bad. It's just like using the trackpad as an analog stick can be like a huge pain, but that is what it is. I mean, it's honestly not that bad. Like, it's totally usable. It's totally usable. It's totally fine. And I mean, that's kind of the extent of it. It's fine. It's not great, but it's fine. So let's do one more game, I think. Maybe two more. Now, I think it'd be super interesting to test a shooter out with a controller like this. And what better shooter to test than Halo? You know, for the most part, I play games with the keyboard and mouse, shooters especially. So this is probably going to suck, and I'm probably going to do really, really bad. But I figure instead of going online, we can just do a firefight. That way we can play locally, and it's a little more managed. Oh, this feels very not great. Like it just feels a little weird. Let's see if I can turn up the sensitivity on the thumbstick. Gamepad. Let's turn it up to 5 for now. It still feels like I'm gonna need a lot more than that, but we're just gonna try it out. I have not played Halo on a controller in Lord knows how long. Oh, heavens. Oh, I haven't felt aim assist in forever either. Golly, how do I do anything? Oh, I'm out of nades. Frick. All things considered, I'm doing all right. Oh, there we go. Okay. One of the back pads is running. That's good to know. I'm out of ammo, though. Oh my gosh. The turning is abysmal. Let's adjust that again. Let's see. Oh, that feels a little better. Okay. Because I can make short gestures without, like... Oh, frick. Oh my gosh! Ah, goodness gracious. Look, I'm not even going to blame the poor aiming entirely on the controls. I am definitely not like the best shooter person out there. What I will say is that the back pads are tremendous though. Like they definitely knew what they were doing when they were like, okay, 98% of the controller is trackpad, therefore we need buttons on the back that makes it easy for people to, you know, do other inputs while using the trackpads. And it definitely makes it easy. Having some of the core functions tied to it is honestly great. Ooh, wait, Needler? Where? Where? There. Hold RB. Okay. It has those dual actuated triggers that like the GameCube controller has, and I'm not used to using that. So it kind of throws me off a little bit, I'm not gonna lie. Oh, frick. Is honestly, like, actually, honestly, I'm not even lying, is not nearly as bad as I thought it would be. I mean, obviously, I'm not doing good, but, like, it doesn't feel as bad as I thought it would. Like, all things considered, I thought this would be genuinely terrible through and through. Pistol. I want. Oh, shoot. Okay, well, I figured out how to ADS. I forgot that that did stuff. I forgot I could click those down. I literally said that at the beginning of this. The pistol's ridiculous, man. I love it. This actually isn't terrible, guys. Like, this is not bad at all. This actually feels pretty alright. Like, I wouldn't mind using this as my, like, on-the-go controller. In fact, that might literally be what it becomes. I know I'm running, like, directly towards an elite. I need to get out. The elites are brutal. Okay. Yikes. Might as well have some fun with it. Frick, turn! Turn! Dadgummit! Okay. The turning speed was very, very slow. That made it extremely difficult to do that. Do I understand why people probably didn't really like this? Yes, I totally understand why people probably didn't really like this. You know, in terms of using it as a regular controller, it's not terrible. It's not, like, horrible. But, like, if I had, I mean, even, you know, my Stadia controller sitting right next to this at my gaming desk or my, you know, TV or whatever, I mean, this one is just so much more practical than this is. So obviously I'm going to pick this up every time unless I'm playing specific games that really benefit from having a trackpad rather than an analog stick. And I think actually for the last game, that's what we should play. We should play a game that would benefit from a trackpad instead of an analog stick. Because up until this point, we haven't really. I mean, I guess you could say Roblox being mostly a PC game would. But let's play a game that is actually like a game that I would use this for specifically rather than a standard controller. Now, like I've said, this is a game that like I will actively use the trackpads on the Steam Deck to play because it's literally just a better experience. So we're just going to do an Abyss run and just kind of see how this benefits. I mean, you can see that this is acting like a trackpad right now, you know, not like an analog stick. And that's going to be the best way for this to operate. So let's just get into it. Oh my gosh. That sensitivity is crazy. Okay, here we go. So yeah, it's like super sensitive, but I mean... Oh, okay. Okay. Okay, that's not what I wanted. Give me the shoes, man. All right. So let's... Oh, I can see someone over here coming after me. So let's take this and we'll just lower it just a bit and see if that helps the controls to feel a little more accurate. Okay, that already feels way better. All right. Doesn't feel like my swings have like any crazy power behind them. Oh my gosh, I'm still learning it. It's not exactly the same as like the Steam Deck is, but it should be accurate enough. Okay, here we go. Okay. Oh, that feels actually super slick. What? Okay, this actually feels like incredible. Oh, there's pants. Oh, what did I do? Did I hurt myself on that little candlestick? Are you for real? Oh my gosh. I'm not hitting any of my shots, bro. Okay. All right. All right. I think we're coming up on Big Dog. Yep. Okay. All right. Oh, if he chops me once, I'm like dead. Okay. All right. Oh! Honestly, it feels great, which I shouldn't be surprised about because like I said, the Steam Deck with its trackpads are like the reason that playing a game like this on the Steam Deck is even possible in terms of, you know, making sure that the feel is right, which is really important in a game like this that is so focused on physics. We'll do one more run. We won't do a run though. We'll do just like an arena battle, and then I think we will call it after that. Oh gosh. Okay, that might actually be it. Hold up. Okay. Well, that doesn't count. That doesn't count. We're gonna do another one. Golly, all right. Did they set a button for G? Whatever, I'll just press it on my keyboard, guys. Honestly. All right. Okay, all right. I just suck at this game, I think is really what this all comes down to. Honestly, though, not a bad time at all. For the most part, this thing is actually completely usable. Obviously, for certain games, it just doesn't feel super good. Halo was kind of a hard time with this, but most other games were actually totally fine. Again, if I needed a controller for something and I had like my Stadia controller or an Xbox controller, I would probably pick that. That's just going to be the most useful controller for the majority of things. But again, if I were playing a game that I wanted to, you know, either play on the couch or lounge back in my chair at my desk to play that required a mouse like Half Sword or like an MMO, this would be perfect for that, and I would be perfectly happy using it for that. I realize by saying this, I am saying what everybody has been saying about this controller for the last 10 years, but I just think it was really cool getting to try it out for the first time. Again, I've never used this, so being able to try it out and use it and kind of see what its strengths and weaknesses are was really cool. And honestly, it's just really cool to have it, man. It's such a neat piece of gaming history. Like I said before, I plan on getting the new Steam controller like the second it drops, so having these side by side to use will be really cool. But I'm assuming, I'm making the guess anyway, that using the Steam Deck will be essentially the same as using the new Steam controller. So but it would be cool to have this as part of the collection, you know, some cool Valve history. And again, along with the Steam Link, I'm gonna try and do something with this. I'm gonna try and research to see what kind of projects are out there that would be worth, you know, just trying this out on. Ideally, honestly, in the long run, I might just keep it on its stock OS because, you know, that's just kind of sick. But I'll see if there's a way that I can turn this into an interesting video down the line. But for now, though, that's pretty much it. I just really wanted to share this cool piece of history and just try it out with you guys and see, you know, if it's something I can use. I mean, honestly, I think it's going to go in my bag. I think it's going to be my on-the-go controller for my laptop because, believe it or not, I don't actually carry my Steam Deck everywhere with me. I usually just bring a laptop. So this will be good for like playing Rivals of Aether on the go or any other game that I might want to play that would require this. Or if I'm just in a situation where you know, playing with a whole mouse and keyboard is not super viable, so a controller would be easier. But yeah, I think that's it. Thank you for watching. If you made it this far, if you like this kind of stuff, feel free to drop a like and a subscribe if you want to. As you can see by my previous upload, I don't upload super often. It's just, you know, I have a lot on my hands. I do a lot of stuff. So when I get the time to make a video, it's because it's something I really want to do and it's something I really want to talk about. But like I said, if you're interested in hearing more of my dumb thoughts and ideas, I do write little blogs on SpaceHey. That'll be linked in the description if you are interested. If not, that's totally fine. Ideally, in the future, I want to post more videos on Odyssey. Like I said in a community post on my channel, I'm not super happy with the direction that YouTube has taken, and Google for that matter. I mean, obviously, if you've seen my past couple of tech videos, you know that the direction that I'm taking is very polar opposite to theirs. So I have considered switching to Odyssey entirely. So I would suggest going and subscribing on Odyssey if you want to keep following me, because eventually I might dip from YouTube. I don't know yet. I'm still trying to figure it out. But the point being, thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next one, whenever that finally may be.